Anyway, talking about, I'm really conflicted with this first article.
I'm surprised. I mean, surprised and not surprised, because it's like, if you're gonna do it right, that's how you should fucking do it.
Oh yeah, there are no CGI in it, but this started off a whole series of events which I have been covering. Noah Hawley said, like, way about a year and a half ago, how he was going back to basics and he was ignoring everything Prometheus and Covenant related.
Which is good. Definitely the way to go.
Ridley Scott had a fucking hissy fit, and he has decided now that he's taken over ownership of the Alien franchise because it should have been his kingdom to reign over. That's what all this is, and that's why he stuck his fingers into Romulus, and you can see it. This is why I've got concerns. I was looking forward to this, and I think the team behind it have the best intentions, but I'm worried that Scott and his fucking megalomania is going to stick his fingers into the pie, squish it up, and ruin the pastry. And he's just going to be like, really, Scott. Oh, by the way, thanks, Chris.
Yeah, that was fucking fantastic.
So I need to get a photo, and then there will be pins getting this. He knows me too well.
Yeah, that shit's so fucking funny.
But yeah, no CGI. So people were saying with just the 10, 20-second teaser. There's only been 2 teasers out so far. Less than 30 seconds worth of featurette. They're giving nothing away. So they've obviously got an embargo in the marketing department. Yeah, you have to have an embargo in the marketing department. The marketing department's are the ones that ruin movies now.
Well, yes and no. A lot of companies choose to let them do that because at the end of the day, the people in charge of the movie, like the people that are actually in charge of the movie, they're the ones that say what happens and what doesn't happen. And I mean, that's just the whole Disney model of advertising. They want to give everything away because people are fucking stupid and want to know everything they're getting into.
I don't like people. You probably know that anyway.
Gasp.
I know, shock horror, eh? Which is strange because I interact with loads of people and I'm always doing stuff, but yet I don't like people. How do I reconcile that?
I come to terms with that years ago because I'm a tattoo artist. So, I mean, that's just kind of a lot of our MOs. Like, we deal with the general public. And it's great. It's fun. We love it. Outside of work, no, I don't want to people at all.
Yeah, it's just one of them. You do it when you have to, but it's like, nah, I can't be bothered because it's because of this. Most people are dull. They're dullards. They can't have any sort of excitement or mystery in their life whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And especially over movies, they need to know exactly what they're going to be watching before they go in. You're just like, piss off. But yeah, everyone thought that was a CGI xenomorph head. It turns out, no, they've actually went and made it and they're doing it all practical.
As it fucking should be. Thing is, there's just something about, especially with a creature like a xenomorph, where they're very shiny. I mean, it's a fucking dude in a latex suit covered in KY jelly. Like, you don't get that same texture and vibe and stuff when it's, a goddamn computer and the lighting is weird. There's just something so beautiful about it being practical. It makes it real.
Yeah, it's the mucus. I think it's all down to that. It makes it a living being, as opposed to jumpy spinny thing, which they did in Romulus. Like, that had so much potential, that movie.
Yeah, and it's like the parts that were actually practical were fantastic. And it's like it was glaringly obvious when they went from something being practical to something not being practical. And it's like, ugh.
Yeah, it was like two rocks.
CG's fine. CG's great because you use it as a tool to elevate your practical effects. Like, you get rid of wires, you get rid of the green screen. Like, there's things that you can do with CGI and no one will know. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you need to have something practical on screen to fuck with.
And that's, you talk about all the Disney stuff, like, you can tell the actors and all are looking at green screen, like they're just looking into the void and tennis balls and stuff, and they're not physically in the moment. Where you compare that to something where there's actually sets being built and they've got a physicality to them and the characters are interacting with their surroundings. Like, look at all the 80s, like Pumpkinhead and all, and Rawhead Rex and movies like that, Leprechaun, where they actually built sets. There's dirt on the ground and there's there's a physicality and the actors are actually working with that. You can tell they're in the zone.
Yeah, man. I mean, look at the first trilogy of Star Wars. Look at the second trilogy. We're not going to talk about the third one for obvious reasons, but it's like the idea of just being on a giant green set. It's like, what the fuck good is that? That's definition acting, but it's not like you're actually living in that space. And yeah, it's a shame.
But It's a fast food joint. Chuck it out. Easy.
Mhm.
Let's not do anything. Oh, what, we're having to spend half the budget again on reshoots? What could have went wrong? I mean, you can understand a scene here, a scene there, but when half the movie has to get redone again every time and they lose money, you're like, maybe it's not a good model. Maybe stop.
Right. Nope, it's everybody else. It's the fans' fault.
Oh, yes. Oh, have I got a convert? Have you finally... have I finally broken through after
Not
4
even
years?
remotely.
Is this my
No.
Christmas present?
No, not at all. The thing is, I understand that shit. I do. I still stick with shit because there's got to be something else. Like, I mean, specifically, we're talking Star Wars, of course, and or season 2. That's why I stick around with this shit, because that, if it's even half as good as the first season, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, but didn't they do that with the other ones? Wasn't there another show that was like
No,
really
the
good? And then they all
Mandalorian
kind of...
was season 3. Season 3 fucking sucked, but season 2 was fantastic.
Fair enough. Like I say, I'm checked out. I know I gave up years ago. In fact, after the prequels, I was sort of on the edge and like really. But it's been like back to Dexter. After season 6 burned me, and 7.
I
After
honestly,
season 4, you could see them being confused in season 5 in the original series. Just, oh shit, we just killed our main character and the main hook. That was the whole central plot to the entire journey of Dexter. What do we do now? Oh shit, we don't have an idea. Oops.
I really don't remember the last season or 2.
Oh,
I do remember like the ending being like, huh.
yeah, that was
But
abysmal.
yeah, I don't know. I loved that show. I guess I'm mostly just biased because the Trinity season was some of the greatest
Yeah,
television
that was
ever.
season 4. That was the pinnacle. But they
Mhm.
shouldn't have killed Rita. That's what they fucked up.
They had to kill Rita. That shit made perfect sense.
They left themselves with nowhere to go because it was Dexter's journey to humanity.
Yeah,
That
but
was the
that
whole
was
point of
what
the
made it
show.
interesting, was like, how do you retain this facade of being a real normal person when the catalyst for that is gone? And then he realizes, oh, it's the kids.
But even that, they should have messed that up. Like I said, the way they executed it was just awful and just fell. Season 5 was confused, and I think it worked. The reason season 5 isn't here is because we were all confused and sort of stunned after like I said, the killing of Rita, and everyone was trying to figure out. But then season 6 and 7 was just abysmal. So it was hard to
Yeah, I need
like
to go
even
back
look
through it.
at Original Sin, to be honest, because it was just like, nah, what are they doing? Have they not beaten
Like I
this
said,
horse
man,
enough?
Original Sin was great. I did love the whatever the fucking last one was, the one where he's dating some Indian cop. Like, I thought it was great. Wasn't amazing, wasn't the best Dexter, but it was pretty damn good. This shit, like I said, this feels like early seasons of the first Dexter.
Yeah, I think they're going to try. If Scott doesn't stick his beak in, that's where it's going to go wrong. And he is determined at the moment. Like even up to recently, an article come out, and there are all these puff pieces of how he should have taken over the Alien franchise. And you're like, why? And he's just systematic. He's just, I don't know what it is. Is it a certain age thing? Is it an ego thing that they can't retire gracefully or pass the torch or even mentor someone else? I don't get it.
Well, the thing I don't understand is, like, if you want to have that much control, just if it's your franchise, you take control.
But it's not. He was only brought in for the first movie, last minute, and the franchise, like you're talking 20, 30 years after that, at least more 40, 79, yeah, fucking try 40 years after the first one, and so many movies have happened since. Like it's not even funny. And Prometheus and Covenant really rub people up the wrong way. I know you've got your diehards and shitsters that
I did not understand the allure behind them. Like, the thing was, Prometheus was a beautiful movie. I'll give them that. I could not tell you the plot of Prometheus, and I've watched it probably like 3 times. It was so fucking boring, and Covenant was just structurally all over the place, to the point where it just didn't even make sense to do the things that they did.
and he got rubbed up the wrong way, and he's been plotting that was supposed to be his great comeback. It didn't happen.
No.
And he can't get over it.
Yeah, another example of how it's very likely everybody else's fault, not his.
He's a horrible man. He's a horrible person. He's just a gnarly individual, and he just needs to go away. But yeah, I don't know about the xenomorphs on Earth, because that was meant to be Earth's meant to be the last line that doesn't get crossed. And I also don't know why the story isn't moving forward. Like they keep going back, and it's almost like they're trying to retread over the original, and you're just like, why?
Yeah, right. I mean, it's like, look at Predator. Like, that's a franchise that's about the same as Aliens, but like they're constantly doing new shit with it, and it doesn't matter if it changes like old canon and stuff. Like, they write a solid script and they release a solid movie.
apart from the Predator.
Yeah, I mean,
That's why I didn't watch Prey.
Yeah.
I think I've talked about this before. It's like that film broke me with the franchise. I'm just like, huh? Like Predators was a bit ropey, but it was all right. It was fun romp. I didn't want to go too much into the tribes fighting each other. It was a bit silly. But the Predator, just I give up.
fair. I don't think I ever watched that one.
Be thankful then. Honestly, it's when you talk about bad movies. Oh god, that is just painful. That's a painful experience. I want to be wrong about this.
Mhm.
I do. I genuinely want to be wrong. I want to see a good series, and I want to enjoy myself in the Alien universe. There's so much you can play with, especially. I haven't played the role playing game, which we're now starting back on the 15th. Yep, we are back to Heart of Darkness, so we're finishing off that. When you actually see the universe that's been built, and not just Weyland-Yutani, but the other companies, and not just United Americas, but Three World Empire and United Progressive Peoples as well, and the interpolitical going-ons and the wars and stuff that can be interspersed with all this. It's a great universe. And they never got past the xenomorph. Yes, the xenomorph's an icon, but the whole point of the Alien, I thought, was there's gnarly stuff out there.
Mhm.
And the more you go deeper into the abyss, the more gnarly things you're going to find. But yeah, we've done extensive reviews on the channel anyway of all these, and they just couldn't get past Ellen Ripley. That's what broke them with the first 4 movies.
Mhm.
They just couldn't get past her character. They couldn't think of a way to move forward, which is ridiculous considering the world building they've done.
Yeah. Well, it's like I love that character, but yeah, it's like she really wasn't needed that far into the franchise.
Yeah.
First 2 made sense. Third one's good, but yeah, Resurrection. Like I loved it when I was a kid, because I was a kid, and then watching it later years, it's like,
it's pure cringe. So I suppose we'll wait and see. It's not long now. It's next month, isn't it? I think it's releasing start of the year. I think it might be mid to late January. So we haven't got too long to go. But there we go. There is that.